Hello there, you beautiful faces. Welcome to the Viral Report. I'm Lamar. Alright, so we got a viral story coming of a registered nurse who refused to help Rona patients. Alright, so she's like, look, these patients got the Rona. I've got past health issues, and my manager or supervisors wanted me to go and take care of these patients. Well, I'm putting myself at risk. That's what she's saying. I'm sure that most of you all have probably seen the video that went viral of her quitting her job. And I want you all to go ahead and take a look at the original viral clip. And then I want you all to take a look at the Breakfast Club interview where she added more context to the situation. So shout out to the Breakfast Club for actually getting her on. And then I'll come back with the rest of my commentary. And we'll talk about if she was wrong or right.
I'm professional. I'm upset. I just quit my job. I clocked in, found out that I'm being sent to a corona floor when they know that I have kids at home who I can't send away to stay away from me. My manager sent me to a floor that is being tested for corona. She knows my health history. She knows all of this. I quit. I care about the patients and all, but my family and my life, they matter. They come first. Is evil. She's evil. She knows my health history. I told her my kids don't have anybody to go to while they're here. I can't send my kids away like everybody else. I'm done. I'm leaving. My life matters and my kids matter. Screw this.
We have a young lady on the line. We spoke about her earlier this morning. She was the nurse that quit her job, and her name is Melissa. Good morning, Melissa.
Scott.
Good morning, Melissa.
Yes. How are you feeling this morning?
Peace, Queen. How you?
I'm good. My cousin that lives in New York called me and she said, they're talking about you on the radio up here. I was like, what?
That's Shaniqua. Shout out to Shaniqua.
That's only my cousin Shaniqua, yes. That's only a small part of the story, what everybody's saying. There's so much more behind what forced me to make that decision. I mean, I didn't want to leave my job. That's the last.
Now, wait, Melissa, before you get into it, just for backstory, in case people didn't hear, you quit your job on Instagram Live. You're a nurse.
Okay. So for starters, when the coronavirus outbreak, came to our area, I've already taken care of coronavirus I've already been assigned one of those patients. Okay. After that patient, it was a patient that was being tested for coronavirus, for starters. My concern, I even brought my concern up to the charge nurses, my team leaders. I'm like, hey, here's a part of the story that people don't know. My husband is in another state. He's not even here. Like, if I have to self-quarantine, who's going to watch my children? It's not the fact, because I have children. It's who's going to watch them if I have to be self-quarantined. That's the thing. After I took care of this initial patient, I felt sick the following weekend. Like I was coming down with a cold, and all I could think about is, was this patient positive? So when I went back to work, I asked my team leader, I said, how will we know, or will we be notified if our patients come back positive? Oh, yours was positive. Your manager, I don't want to say her name, the manager should have sent you an email. I said, she didn't. I pulled it up then. We looked, double-checked, no email. Everybody else that had contact with this patient, they're like, oh, she called us. She emailed us. I felt some type of way about that. I said, why didn't she contact me? Because, I should know. So then my team leader said, well, it's probably because you had the proper PPE on at the time of care. I did not feel comfortable with that because there have been reports of still contracting the virus, even with the proper PPE. So I, followed up with people I know in upper management. I even called employee health. Both said whether or not you had PPE on at the time of care, your manager is supposed to notify you. And I was never notified. Or I even approached the manager. She was very nasty whenever I asked her about it. And, I didn't get the answer I needed. In an email I sent her, she told me that the only people that were being notified were those that had direct contact with the patient prior to being put on enhanced precaution. I didn't feel comfortable with that, so I waited to see if somebody else might have had a similar situation, like one of my coworkers. Mm-hmm. And it did come. One of my coworkers, same situation as mine, on enhanced precautions at the time of care. Her patient ended up positive. She was contacted by our manager. And so I sent her another email asking her again, why was I not notified of my patient's positive status? And then that's when she said, call me. No, you're trying to say something in a phone call that you can't say in an email. That's what it is. You're trying.
She don't want to keep that paper trail.
Thank you. And that's what I was trying
That's
to keep
all.
a paper trail on her because she knows she messed up. She
Right.
knows that she messed up. And so, I think that this was retaliation against me because I was on her ass about not notifying me. Okay, and let me just make it clear. Not one time did I bash my hospital. When I made that video, I wasn't thinking, oh, you still have your freaking badge on. There was so much that occurred before that video was made that pushed me to that point. So prior to that, all weekend long, my family, my husband, they're all saying, Melissa, we don't think it's safe for you to go in there because my hospital has one of the highest cases in the state of Georgia. My coworker, she even called me on the way to work. She said, I'm about to call and see where they have me scheduled tonight because if they had me going to the corona floor, I'm calling out because they're not making the travel nurses work these floors or float to these floors. They're getting paid the hazard pay. We're not getting paid anything. We're not getting paid anything extra for this, okay? And it's not about the pay, but you're paying these other people $5,000. Why is this nurse? I don't know if the other floors are doing it. Why is she not sending the travelers, but you're sending your regular staff, and we're not even getting paid extra for it? So I
So,
told her,
question:
I
nurses
said,
don't
I need to,
healthcare professionals don't get hazard pay?
not in my area, they don't.
Now, Charlamagne, you just asked about hazard pay.
Yeah, I asked do nurses get hazard pay. She said, not in her area.
Not at her job. Hmm.
Right, we don't get it.
So, Melissa,
So what do you hope? What
basically-
do you hope? What do you hope to gain from all of this, Melissa? Like, what are you hoping to get out of all of
I
this?
wasn't trying to gain anything. I didn't even think it was going to spread like this.
Right.
I
It
feel
organically
like
went
that manager
viral.
needs to go. That manager needs to
You
go.
what?
I'm not the only one that quit that day on my floor
Oh.
because of her. Yes,
Okay.
like I said, there's so much more to this story, y'all. When I gave her a chance, everybody knows details. They will know I made the right choice. This was purposely done because she knew that I was on her ass about not notifying me about my patient's positive status. That was wrong. That was
Melissa,
Yeah,
would
she
you go work at
violated.
Would you go work at another hospital right now?
If they place me in the right areas, of course. I don't want to be subjected. I was already informed by my charge nurses that I work with. They said they told the manager of my status, my prior medical history. And she assured me, she was like, you don't have to worry about being assigned to those patients. You never should have been assigned to that first patient.
Right.
They assured me. And so if
Right.
I don't have to go to this other patient, why are you going to send me to a whole freaking unit of those patients? Even the nurse that gave me that first patient, she came to me and she said, oh my gosh, Melissa, you should have told me you're a breast cancer survivor. I never would have sent you to that patient. And she's the same one that was there the day I quit. This was purposely done, and nobody can tell me otherwise. Nobody.
Yeah, I mean the only way America can get the best out of their healthcare professionals is to treat them with care. If you all aren't feeling like y'all are being cared for, how are y'all going to care for other people?
I need to also add this. Last week, or the week before last, they've been floating an older nurse with a breast cancer history around trying to keep her in safer areas because she usually works in the ICU. She had been working on my floor for a couple of nights. They sent her to the corona floor. That nurse manager called my manager and, trying to get her back on my floor. My manager refused. That manager told her, from what I'm being told, we must not only look out for our patients, but we have to protect our staff as well.
That's
this
true.
manager refused. It's a pattern with this person. So,
Right.
Okay.
like I said,
So it was something personal. So this was not something that's going on everywhere. This is just something that you feel like this manager made some poor decisions and had a personal issue.
Exactly.
Now, do
And
you guys have the
after
PPE? Do you guys have the necessary
We are
the
having
PPE that you guys
to
need?
There's a nationwide shortage, so we are having to reuse the same gown and same mask the entire shift. Prior to this outbreak, that was not the standard. And I don't feel comfortable with that, and neither do a whole lot of people. That's unsafe. I'm sorry.
Right.
I
That's
agree.
not safe at all.
I think this is an
Also
indictment of
add-
America's healthcare industry more so than it is an indictment of you. Oh, Melissa, can I ask you one more question? Do you think it's possible that being that this is a new situation that, nobody has ever dealt with before, maybe your manager just didn't know what the proper protocol was?
She knew.
Mm.
I do not.
So that's not crazy enough. You have Trump out here and he's just continuing to lie to the American people. He has no empathy or anything.
I don't believe you need 40,000 or 30,000 ventilators. You know, you go into major hospitals sometimes, they'll have 2 ventilators, and now all of a sudden they're saying, can we order 30,000 ventilators?
This was something that nobody has ever thought could happen to this country.
But many experts did and told the president so. In a National Security Council pandemic playbook, which the administration was briefed on in 2017, in a series of HHS simulation exercises called Crimson Contagion, conducted in 2019, which found the administration was not ready for the outbreak of a respiratory virus, and in intelligence agency warnings in January and February, while President Trump and aides played down the threat, failing to ramp up testing until the virus had spread.
Did the CDC screw up, or did you screw up?
No, we did not screw up.
Where did this
And
go
I don't think
wrong?
CDC screwed up either. Nobody ever expected a thing like this.
You know, I can't deal with Trump. I just can't, you know. So in closing, was this registered nurse wrong? I say yes and no. Yes, in the sense that, you know, it's her job to take care of patients. No matter what conditions the patients are coming in with, it's her duty to take care of these patients. Now, she will also be in the wrong if she and her husband did not come to a mutual agreement that she could quit her job. Now, she'd be wrong for that. Now, on the other side, she has to think about her health. So if she has underlying health issues or a history with health issues, then yes, she has to think about herself. And I also seen comments online saying that this woman was just, you know, looking for attention. Maybe she's looking for a GoFundMe. I think the reason that she went online to vent about her quitting her job is because, one, she was frustrated. Two, you know, she wanted to get the message out what was going on at the hospital. I don't necessarily think that she was actually looking for, you know, fame and notoriety and GoFundMe accounts. I honestly think that she was just letting her friends and family and people who follow her know what her situation was. Maybe she was letting them know because if she had to go to them for assistance, they would know what she was going through and why she quit her job ahead of time. So let me know what you all think about this whole entire situation. It's just a mess. I know that, you know, I'm a big firm believer in putting your health before profits. I'm definitely not going to put my health on the line for any company, let alone taking a potential deadly illness home to my kids and my family. I'm glad that she went to the Breakfast Club and added more clarity to it. So I want to know what you all think. Let me know in the comment section below. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.
Are you about to kill this man?
Pop these niggas like...
Quit playing. I didn't do it.
Oh man, we about to get this party started. If you made it this far in the video, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe, like, and that notification bell. It ain't a party until you subscribe. I love you for watching, and I'll see that beautiful face in the next one.